This afternoon, I want to talk about the various astrophysicists who have been found unalive and the ones who are reportedly missing. This is a new subject that I'm diving into, and I'm looking forward to making more videos about it. If you watch my channel religiously, if you've been watching me for the past 5 years, I would greatly appreciate you guys' support, and you can do that by liking the video and hyping the video and sharing the video. I'm on my quest to mature as a content creator, so like I say, man, I would greatly appreciate you all support on my journey to talk about some grown man topics, if that make any sense, man. I'll just get right into it. Now, this video was inspired by Amy Estridge and her finding anti-gravity. You know what I'm saying? Now, we all heard the story of Amy unaliving herself, and some people think she did, like her father believes that she did, and some people believe that she didn't. And I'm not here to really talk about that. Today I want to talk about the missing scientists, like the ones that have never been found again. Now, I know out of majority of the missing scientists, I know that they are more likely unalive. However, for the small percentage of them that are missing and nobody knows where they are, including the United States government, I truly do believe that those scientists have found a portal or found a way to time travel. And they either time travel back in time, they travel to the future, or they travel to another dimension. Like, the more I'm looking into these scientists' work, they are extremely talented, or they were extremely talented. And some of the mathematical formulas that they were working on, some of the technological advances they were working on, it was mind-blowing. It was mind-boggling. And time travel, you all, is possible. Do I know how to do it? No. But if you spend your life, trying to figure out how to time travel and find portals and find certain points on Earth where you can go to certain places, it's possible. You get what I'm saying? And after watching Amy's interview, where she was talking about the P-47s and P-57s, it leads me to believe, excuse me, that was a fly. It leads me to believe that if P-57 beings can come back to the future and speak to us, then us ourselves can go back to the future and talk to past people, and we can go to the future and talk to futuristic people. And the more that I'm looking into the more I'm looking into these NASA scientists, I'm starting to look into the Mandela effect. And I do believe that certain people have the ability to go back in time and change things that will particularly change future events. And this is why I believe that the world hasn't ended yet. So I don't think all of these scientists were murdered by the government. I think maybe 85% of them were, but I think the ones that were extremely bright and the ones that knew how to keep their mouth shut, I think they disappeared. You get what I'm saying? And if you look at the true teachings of Christ, and if you look at if you really look at the Gnostic teachings of Christ, Christ flat out told his disciples, and he told the world that he was traveling through different dimensions, like simultaneously. So he'll be in this level of reality, and then the next day he'll be in another level of reality. And I wholeheartedly believe that there are parallel universes. I didn't believe this until I started looking into like the missing scientists. But I do believe that these missing scientists, some of them, have found technologies to travel through parallel universes and go to certain places where there are different humanoid beings. Even the Bible says that my people perish due to the lack of knowledge. I think some of these scientists have found the tree of life. I think some of these scientists have figured out how to live forever. And this type of stuff, you can't tell to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, because knowledge has to be earned. And these particular individuals learn this knowledge, they learn the technology, and they're using it for their advantage. Like I say, I don't think it's all of them. I just think it's a small fraction, because even going back to Amy Estridge, she found technology. She found anti-gravity technology. And while I was looking at her interview, she flat out said that we are the only species in the cosmos that still use combustible engines. And I was shocked, because first and foremost, I was like, what do you mean the only species in the cosmos? Because, we like to believe that we are the only species in the cosmos. But, like, according to her, there are more species in the cosmos. And these species, they don't use combustible engines. And in order to run these combustible engines, we need fossil fuel. And we all know that the people who own the fossil fuel companies, they run the world. So anytime that you are going around saying that you are about to introduce anti-gravity to the world, you are declaring war on the petrodollar, and you're declaring war against these trillionaires. And unfortunately for us, because I was watching another video today, unfortunately for us, these boomers are not dying anytime soon. These boomers are living at 80 years old. These boomers are living at 90 years old. And the longer you live, the more power you accumulate. And a lot of these rich, wealthy people are 70, 80, 90 years old, and they want to maintain power until the day they die. And a part of them maintaining the power, is to suppress information. And I think that is mighty ironic that, we're still running off fossil fuel that's predominantly ran by the boomers, the old people. You get what I'm saying? And every time I go outside, I'll talk about the simulation theory. I've been sitting in this back alley for the past 25 minutes, and not one car has passed here. And as soon as I get to cooking in this video, a car just randomly passes by here. And I really do believe that, those people like that are Agent Smiths. Like, we are in this is a simulation. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, I think a lot of these scientists have found a way to exit the simulation. Can you imagine if you and I had the technology to exit this simulation and to go to a parallel universe? We don't have to deal with fossil fuel, and we don't have to deal with old dinosaurs hoarding fossil fuel, making us pay $7 a gallon for fossil fuel, making us fight wars for fossil fuel. Like, Amy Estridge and a lot of these other scientists who were working on anti-gravity were trying to attain world peace. Because if you destroy the petrodollar, if you destroy the need for fossil fuel, then these dinosaurs have no reason to send young people off to war to die, so they can maintain power, money, and status in this realm of reality. So rest in peace to Amy Estridge, and salute to the few scientists that escaped this matrix, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this video in particular, I'm gonna leave it at that, because I gotta, get back to shucking and jiving. But yeah, man, that's why knowledge is key. You know what I'm saying? That's why knowledge is key. And unfortunately for people like you and I, they don't teach us how to be geniuses. They don't teach us knowledge. They teach us how to be good at one particular thing that will help their economy. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I wish I had the time to just learn something like that, to sit there and play with a chemistry set and learn doggone scientific equations. That's pretty awesome, because that could potentially free me for real from this hellhole that we call planet Earth. But peace and love to y'all. Like I said, if y'all stayed to the end, I appreciate if y'all hype the video. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate if y'all like the video, and I'll be back with another one. I'm out.